Hello and welcome to How to Play Zetema, presented by GatherTogetherGames.com. This video will cover how to play the card game Zetema. The video will start with the general concepts and gameplay and then get into more of the details for the game. The game is played with 2 to 6 players. To play, you will need a 65 card deck, a standard 52 card deck, plus a duplicated suit from another deck. Each player is dealt 6 cards when 2 to 5 players are playing, and 5 cards when 6 players are playing. The object of the game is to be the first player to score 300 points when playing with 2 or 3 players, or 200 points when playing with 4 to 6 players. Points are scored through melds and zetemas. A meld can be a 6-card straight in rank, a flush of 6 cards in the same suit, or a straight flush of a 6-card sequence in rank and in the same suit. Points are scored after making a meld. A meld can also be an assembly, which is 5 cards of the same rank. Points are scored based on the rank of the assembly. A marriage can be scored by having a king and queen in the same suit. The more marriages you declare in one turn, the more points you will get. Points are also scored for zetemas. After a turn, players will discard 1 card. The cards are discarded into 13 piles, 1 pile for each card rank. If you are the player to discard the 5th card in a rank, you score for the zetema. The rank of the zetema will determine the amount of points received. Get the Zetema Quick Guide through the link in this video's description to help you learn as you play. Going back to the hand that was dealt earlier, I have flipped up each player's cards for you to see. In an actual game, you will keep your cards hidden from the other players. The player left of the dealer gets the first turn. A turn consists of 3 steps. First, a player will draw a card from the deck. Second, a player will score a meld if possible and wanted. And third, the player will discard a card. Player 2 starts by drawing a card from the deck. Player 2 does not have a meld to score. Player 2 will discard to end their turn. Play moves to player 3, who will draw a card. Player 3 does not have a meld to score and will discard a card to end the turn. Play moves to player 1. Players continue to take turns making plays. Skipping ahead, player 1 draws a queen of spades. Player 1 is able to meld a spades marriage with the queen and king of spades. Player 1 will score 10 points. When a marriage is melded, the cards in the marriage are both discarded to a separate discard pile. Zetemas cannot be scored for kings and queens if a marriage is melded. Skipping ahead to player 1's next turn, player 1 will draw 2 cards since both cards were discarded for the marriage. Skipping ahead again, player 2 draws a card to start their turn. Player 2 is able to meld a sequence. When melding, a player will show all the cards for the meld being scored. The score is recorded, then the player will discard 1 card from the meld shown. Player 2 will discard the 10. Skipping ahead now to see the first zetema scored. Player 1 draws to start their turn. Player 1 will discard the 5th 2 and will score for the 2 zetema. Once a rank has all 5 cards, the zetema is scored. The cards are moved to the discard pile. Players continue to take turns until the deck runs out. Players will then continue to take turns by just discarding and trying to score zetemas until all cards have been discarded. All players' scores are recorded as soon as they are earned during gameplay. The game ends immediately once a player reaches 300 points in a 2 or 3 player game or 200 points in a 4 to 6 player game. A player can use kings or queens from the card rank discards to score for marriages. Here, player 1 will pick up the queen of clubs and the king of diamonds to meld 2 marriages. In a 2-player game, once the draw deck is out, a player that scores a zetema will play again. Once the player does not score a zetema, play moves to the next player. That wraps up How to Play Zetema. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and get more game tutorials by subscribing to our channel, Gather Together Games. Thanks for watching.